Hi! We're at the Vale Practice, natural healthcare practice I should say, with Bea, who is an acupuncturist, and she also does aromatherapy massage, which I think you combine the two together. And she's going to talk to us a little bit about how it can be used in terms of helping women who are going through the menopause or a phase in their life. So,
yes, fabulous introduction. I came in and I asked you, I said, just checking what symptoms it works for, and you said, it's not just specific symptoms. So instead of me putting words in your mouth, Bea, how do you treat women with acupuncture in menopause?
If I can pick up what you said, it's a phase in a woman's life. I see menopause as a time of change. So we've had childhood to puberty, then we have our fertile phase where we have monthly periods, and then these stop more or less smoothly. And at this point, the body goes through some kind of, you can say, like a changing crisis, where anything that's happened in the past can come up, can cause problems, things like taking the pill or taking any kind of artificial hormones or strong medication over a long period of time. It can cause problems at these times. And it very much depends on the individual, on their individual constitution, on, I would say each woman that comes in has their own menopause. Yeah, it's kind of with their own individual symptoms. I wouldn't say, hot flushes, menopause, this and this is the treatment. I look at the woman and I see what's happened in her life.
I think quite a lot of the literature says hot flushes, anxiety, depression, and that for us was quite.
And these of course come up. I've just had a patient with strong anxiety. That was the major symptom, and she's still pre-menopause. Sort of just perimenopause, just getting.
But you look at their symptoms as well as their history in terms of what they've been taking or put into their body as well.
Then once you've done your initial assessment, how would you identify, how does acupuncture work, kind of as simply as you can put it?
So Chinese acupuncture is part of Chinese medicine. Chinese medicine has discovered something that the Western world only discovered in the last 200 years. They've discovered about 2,000 years ago that we can look at the body in terms of blood, flesh, bones, skin, or we can look at the body in terms of energy. You see, so you can see the physicists discovered there's protons, neutrons, electrons, and you can look at the mass, or you can look at the electric charge each of them have. Acupuncture looks at the electric charge our bodies have, at the electricity, at the energy in the body. This energy doesn't run just randomly, but runs in very specific meridians, pathways. If this energy runs very smoothly through all our pathways, we're perfectly healthy. As this is not a perfect world, there's always something that's a little bit out of balance. So we check our diagnosis, we feel the pulse. So each of the pathways has a specific location that we can feel on each wrist. So I can feel, is there too much energy, too little energy, or if the quality of the energy is.
I've got to ask a question here.
Yeah,
how does too much energy feel? I'm really quite curious about
pushing
that.
Out.
So it's like
on the pulse, it's almost.
So the pulse is.
The volume. The volume, or also the quality. But it's almost like.
It's very subtle then.
It is a very subtle. Feeling. It takes us years to kind of.
How long is training to become a
3 to 4 years. So when I studied 1990 till 1994, then it was 4 years, 3 years full time, 1 year part time. And now I also teach in my college in East Grinstead in the National College of Oriental Medicine, and now it's 3 years there.
So that's incredible. So it's a subtle feeling, and from this you're able.
That's one of the forms of diagnosis. We look at people's tongues. That gives us sort
of. Trying to look at mine now.
It gives a sort of subtle a picture of what's going on exactly at the moment. Is there any inflammation? Is there any weakness? We get it quick because tongues change quicker than pulses almost. Also abdominal diagnosis. We feel particular areas of the abdomen, and also you can directly feel along the meridian pathways where there is deficiencies or where there's excess somewhere.
That's amazing. I mean, I'm learning so much here, and I'm not just saying that because I think we just think acupuncture is just it is a complementary treatment that works on the body, to me, in a mysterious way. And
that's why I wanted to explain that a little bit.
Fascinating.
So when I get a woman with menopause symptoms or perimenopause symptoms or maybe early menopause, I feel on the pulse, and obviously I take the case history and look for symptoms. Where might there be deficiency? Where might things be out of balance? And then I can choose points to remedy that, to rebalance her system. Yeah. But one of the things I do after I've seen the patient for the first time, I asked them to take to see a colleague of mine who is a Western herbalist, and I asked her to start on a herbal tonic. It's just
so you combine the acupuncture along with herbal.
I found it really efficient. I found acupuncture on its own works very well. Doesn't start as fast.
Okay.
Actually, that's
Can
one
I
of
just ask one, sorry, a question, because I had spoken to an acupuncturist a couple of years ago, and she treats it alongside Chinese herbal medicine. So what is the difference between Western herbal and Chinese herbal? Has it derived from that original source?
Chinese medicine encompasses tuina, which is Chinese massage, which is directly working on the meridians. It's called push-pull, tuina. Then there is Chinese herbs, herbal medicine. Then there is acupuncture.
Yeah. So it's just interesting. They
so
obviously,
it's part of Chinese.
I know they
medicine.
went to. She went to China to actually learn it, but obviously, it's Western
I
is
don't
probably
prescribe
more.
Chinese herbs. I found personally for here also growing up in Germany, Western herbalism is quite a strong medicine there, and it has been preserved. More than actually in this country, so I'm quite a strong believer of it.
No, that's great.
I like combining the two of them.
Yes.
I find, as we live here personally, obviously, I have actually taken Chinese herbs in the past as well, and I found them beneficent.
Yeah,
definitely. But with menopause, with a specific colleague that specializes on menopause, I find those two work really well.
Yeah.
Really
What would your colleague give? I mean, there's not a one size fits all.
No. It's an individualized prescription.
Yeah. And then they take that, and then they start.
And then they come back to no. First they see me. They get their first acupuncture.
Yeah.
Then I ask them to see the herbalist. They start the herbal tonic. Then for the second acupuncture, they're on the herbal tonic, and I carry on with the treatment. And I carry on looking at the individual. What do they specifically need? What do they specifically struggle with? Is it specifically insomnia? Is it the mood swings? Is it anxiety? Or is it strong hot flushes?
Yeah. Or is it all?
Or is it just being very hot?
Maybe strong bleeding, blood stopping. There's all sorts of, it comes in so many different versions, as we are all very different people.
And I know there's no such thing as the average woman, but how long would a course possibly be? Can women benefit from, say, 3, 6?
So
is it
what I do, I feel in the beginning, when a woman comes and has strong symptoms, I see them a bit more often. I might see them weekly for 2-3 weeks. When I feel she's getting better, she's more in control of the whole situation and feels.
Are they reporting improvements within that space then? If they're seeing with the herbalist and
I'm expecting after the second treatment, once they've taken the Western herbs, that
they're starting to.
We have had a friend who's spoken on one of our blogs about how beneficial she found acupuncture, which is why we were following it up with you.
I expect a quick change.
And how
after 2-3 weeks, I expect there to be quite a change, and then I see them less often.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of there in the background to look after. So it's difficult to say have a course of 6 every week. It's not like that.
Yeah.
It's very individually tailored.
So would you ask them to perhaps, if they start feeling the symptoms again, that they should come back?
I mean, I know that each practice will be charging a different amount. How much, because we're looking nationally, how much could women expect to pay between for an hourly?
Here, I charge for the first treatment £65.
Yeah.
Follow-up treatments £50.
Okay.
Yeah.
And actually you're saying some women might not need that many, and
yes.
It's horses for courses, I'm afraid, ladies. Here, some of you might need more.
The thing is, if you if menopause kind of takes over your body and you cannot function, you can't sleep, you can't go to work, this is quite a big loss. You might have to take time off. So you have to kind of function. And our health is so important for us to, especially in this time of our life, there's so much going on. We're at the height of our careers.
Yes.
Our parents are getting old and need more caring.
We call it a reset button. That actually, if you've done things up until now, it's like you need to maybe.
And also, I think for women who, so there are those that will take HRT and that sorts out their problems. But for those women who can't take that, acupuncture is a really good alternative in terms of complementary.
And I would personally really recommend, before you go down the route of HRT, to try a natural treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try the acupuncture with the Western herbs combined.
Yeah.
It might really make it possible
because
for
then
you
that
not to
passes
go
you
on
through that phase.
The problem with HRT, it can sort out the symptoms really fast. The problem with it is it does not cure menopause, it puts it off.
Yeah, it just delays the...
And do you want to do menopause in your 50s?
Or
do
70s.
you want to do it in your 70s, like my mum did, not with the good...
And actually, it is worth noting that acupuncture is available on the NHS in limited areas, so it could be that some of you might be able to get NHS acupuncture. Otherwise, that's it's worth bearing in mind that there's a fee to be paid.
Something I would like to, I want to say, it doesn't have to be a terrible thing. When we start into menopause, and I remember that myself, I had this feeling of dread, of something really awful is happening, of something, the world's turning upside down, and I can't cope with it. And it doesn't have to, this is not, it's just the hormones doing that.
You're talking on the right side, Bea.
Exactly. And I think
that
there is ways to get through this and come out the other end and actually feel stronger.
And that's what we're
with more energy.
Yeah, I mean, we're giving informed choices so women can make their own decision how they want to treat it, but also in a positive way, and that's what we're trying to say.
There's an awful lot more working, living and loving to be done when the average age is 50.
Look after yourself.
It's another third of our lives, isn't it? I'm encumbered by hormonal...
the risk of getting pregnant. Yes, it's all great. Bea, I think we'd really like to say thank you very much for this, because you clarified quite a lot of stuff for us about acupuncture, and it is definitely food for thought. So I think Anne and I might be having a chat about this afterwards.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bea.
Fantastic. Thanks.
Thank you.